Hello Scorpio, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the month of July. We are looking into July, seeing what possibly might come up throughout the month for you. How are you, Scorps? I hope you're good. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you so much. This reading is for you if you have a Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter sign that is Scorpio. It could possibly be something that is coming up for you in July. July is a time of change, my friend. We are setting the stage for the next long while because of all the planetary movements that have been going on. Excuse me. And so this is a massive, I tried to say massive and generational. Is there? Yes, there is a full moon coming. If you've been on this channel before, you know that I start combining words during the full moon. So the full moon is coming on the 29th. So I tried to say massive generational and I said mass-rational. Okay, so a massive generational shift is coming, right? So a bunch of things are changing, and we'll talk a little bit about that throughout your reading. We got 3 specific questions we're asking. First one is, how are you showing up in July? Okay, well, this one wants to be seen, so we will take it. It says, slow and steady wins the race. There you are, Scorpio. It's even a turtle in water. I'm just saying, slow and steady wins the race. There is card number 62, which is an 8. It's about putting the hard work in on something. So if you are working hard on something right now, a project, getting a new job, stacking away money, whatever it is, I feel like consistency is the key. It's not how fast you get there, because the turtle is here. It's not how fast you get there. It's the consistency by which you will finally get there. And I don't think you're in any hurry, really, Scorpio. I think you're really good with consistency. But slow and steady does win the race. Second question, what's being reconsidered? Because we are now going into this Cancer Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury retrograde in Cancer, which is going to have us emotionally reflecting over the next little while, because retrograde begins on the 29th. We're already in the pre-shadow phase. And then it's going to go throughout most of July. So let's find out what you're reconsidering or reflecting on here. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got make your dreams real. Okay, I love it. It feels like you are, if you're as old as me, I'm 58. Remember those books we could get that were just dots and you would join the dots? That's what this reminds me of. It feels like whatever you've been working on here or putting hard work into, it feels like this is the month where the gaps get filled in, where you start to draw one to the other and you start to see something come to life, like this web, right? So it feels like, it takes forever for the spider to make a web. It is a work of art. You could be an artist possibly, but it feels like somebody here, what you are reflecting on or maybe reconsidering is how you're building something possibly. We've got make your dreams real. Last question we're asking is, what will you be focusing on in July? Because you can't focus on everything. Look, you're bringing a new identity into the next 6 months of the year here. So you're bringing in a new identity. What are you going to focus on? What's going to take you into that? We've got reclaim your power. Okay, I like it. This month is shaping up pretty well. So I feel like your stability is here. We got 8s, right? 8. We've got 11 here. But look, we got 4 as our stability. 2s are balance. We've got 62, which is 8, hard work, balance, and stability. That's what it looks like for you, my friend. Bottom of the deck, what's going on in the future? The horse spirit. Freedom is yours. You are working toward freedom of something. Look, when you have a business, being an entrepreneur is exhausting, but the truth of the matter is you're, in a lot of cases, aren't working for millions of dollars, but you are working for time. And that's the best commodity. You can do what you want, when you want. Your time is yours. You make your own schedule. And so I feel like after all of this, that's what you're headed for. You're headed for some sort of creative freedom where you have the ability to create when you want and the ability to just shut the phone off, lock the door, and get the heck out of there. So let's find out what else is going on. Let's talk to the tarot, have a talk back. Tell me about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Scorpio, thanks for your thumbs up if you haven't done that yet, and if that's what you're here to do and you like this content. I would appreciate it. That's how we're growing this channel, right? It's how we're growing the Scorpio tribe. Let's find out what's going on for you, Scorpio, in July. Tell me more about Scorpio. We've got the 3 of Wands. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Hermit, the 3 of Swords, And the last card being the Star here. So it feels like we are talking about your future. You are planning for the future. Look, the spider spirit is here, making your dreams real. It does feel like you are planning for the future. There is something here that is deeply, deeply emotional to you. I do feel in July you will be facing some type of fear. I feel there's a fear, a little bit of a fear, and I don't think you're scared of anything, to be honest. But I'm just going to say there's a lion here, and I don't know, we can't really see because it's in the shadows, but maybe it's a panther. It's a dark-colored cat, right? It feels like you're going to need to find the courage to reclaim your power. Reclaiming your power is saying no. It's telling people no. I'm no longer giving you my time because I've realized that the most precious commodity I have in this life is time, and I'm going to keep that for me today. So when you reclaim your power, it's not by standing up and giving everybody crap in your life, giving them shit. It's about saying no. Reclaiming your power is, I'm going to do this for me now. I spend all the time back there doing it for everybody else, and now I'm pulling in my power and reclaiming it because I am building a life of freedom. It's going to take some time, but I will. We've got the future here. The Hermit energy tells me here that there is something that's very deeply emotional for you, and it is also, I feel, the part of reclaiming your power, Scorpio, is reclaiming some of your emotional power, because you are strong. I really do see you, Scorpio, and I could be wrong about some of you, but the way I experience Scorpio energy is I really love you and I want to see you do great, but quit doing that stupid shit. You know what I mean? Scorpio is always really a hard ass, but is going to do it, love you gently, but also be a little bit hard. And I feel like you're kind of doing that with yourself here a little bit. The Hermit energy tells me that you're pulling in your energy for you. You are probably going through an awakening. Look, one of the planetary movements that we've been feeling in this time is Neptune has entered Aries, and it's going to be there for 14 years, and that's the awakening. And so then Saturn shows up in Aries as well, being there for about 2.5 years, and says, you're awake. What are you going to do with it? And I think that that's what this is about. And so while Uranus is in Gemini and disrupting your thought patterns, I feel like it feels like you are doing it slowly, pulling it together, because at the end of it all, I feel like you're facing a really big field, finding courage to disappoint other people while you heal. I'll tell you what, that's the thing I didn't know about healing, is that you will be disappointing people, and some of those people that you disappoint, Scorpio, are going to walk away. And I think that's the scary part of awakening, of healing the self, of becoming stable, and really making sure you put yourself first. That's the hard part, because there are going to be people who will wander away from your boundary and never come back. Tell me what to expect in the future here. For Scorpio, we've got the Three of Wands. It looks like adventure. It feels like though this person is sitting here waiting for someone at the table who possibly never shows up. That's what I'm saying. As you're making plans for the future, not everybody is going to agree with your plans, because maybe now you're focused on you and not focused on them. We've got the Nine of Swords. I think that you will go through a point in time in July as you're going through this awakening and really pulling things together in your life and planning for the next 6 months of your life here. I think that you are noticing that people are ghosting you. They're just not showing up the way they used to, and it's because you're not giving as much as you were anymore. It's because you're keeping pieces of it for yourself. Everything is changing. Your life is changing. Your family life is changing. Your friendship group, you could be changing the way you think. We've got the Nine of Swords. It feels like things are changing because they are expanding, and that accounts for Jupiter that enters Leo, right? Jupiter, I think, enters Leo soon or today, something like that. As I do this reading, Jupiter is probably already in Leo, and that is you expressing the ways of expansion. And so as Jupiter leaves Cancer and heads over to Leo here, it feels like there's some significant change that you are dealing with here. You know that it's time for you to no longer placate the people around you. Now, I don't think that you want to disappoint anybody. I feel like that's a bit of a fear. But I feel like when the Queen of Wands shows up, it's a call to action. What are you going to do with the time you have left? So I feel like the Queen of Wands tells me, look, you're made of rubber, you bounce, friend. You are a person who is resilient. You've made it up to here, and now you're going to have to endure some really big changes, expansion, but it isn't a time of destiny. So I feel like it's time for you to stand up out front and start walking and see if anybody follows from behind. But I do think that this Three of Wands is telling me that while your life is expanding, people are dropping away. I don't think that you are going to end July with the same group of people you began July with because of all of this change. Tell me about the Strength card for Scorpio, please. We do have the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Fool. So you know that you likely might have to walk some of this path alone. We do have the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups isn't always love. It is a bonded emotional reciprocity. So it does feel like as you reclaim your power, who you're going to keep inside the yard is different from who you're going to just leave at the property line. It feels like the people you've already bonded with, the ones who are reciprocally exchanging emotional energy with you, those are your besties, the ones who are always going to be there at 3 a.m. when your tire is blown and you need someone to help you. You know, it feels like that you are tightening your circle is what it feels like here, finding the courage to hold back from just giving your emotional energy to anybody who it placates. Anybody who wants it and asks for it, you'll give it. I don't think you're doing that anymore. I think you're healing yourself from that, from making sure that everybody around you has what they need. I feel like you are now holding back this precious Two of Cups energy, and you're giving it to people who really understand clearly that you are in a place of healing, that you are trying to heal yourself, reclaim your power, build something that will be steady and sturdy in your life and give you freedom. So I feel like we could have a big change going on with the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool. It feels like there's a big change, and it feels like it's a big part of your life. So maybe your career, or possibly you're moving from one state to another. It feels like a very big change that's going on in your life, and I feel like it starts sooner than you think, because look, I think we're the 24th today. We're very close to the full moon. We're very close to Mercury going into retrograde. You will be emotionally reflecting on everything you've done back there and how you're moving forward for the next 6 months. Let's look at this Queen of Cups energy here, because I do feel you are compassionate and kind and loving, but it feels like sometimes that gets in the way of you making your dreams come true, or you making your dreams real. Tell me about this. We've got the Moon energy. We've got the Justice card. And we've got the Six of Pentacles. So I do feel that you are tightening your friend group. It feels like you are probably seeing which ones show up for you and which ones don't. We have somebody sitting here at a table, drinking a cup of coffee, looking at the water pass by, right? So you're going with the flow, and whoever drops off can stay dropped off. I feel like this Moon energy, the Justice card and the Six of Pentacles tells me that you are seeing the justice in giving reciprocal energy to people who give it to you. And the Moon energy is, I don't really know who those people are yet. It's not that I don't like them, but I gotta stop giving them. I gotta stop letting them come by with a straw and just suck my energy for the sake of sucking my energy. Scorpio, there's always going to be people around you who complain into the universe. They show up in the comments all the time. They complain into the universe, but they're not willing to change anything. They're not willing to do anything about it. They just want everybody to hear them complaining about what's going wrong so they can get a bit of sympathy. And so I feel like the Moon energy tells me that these people have not revealed themselves yet, but you will get justice in tightening up things, because there's something here that you're moving slowly at. You're starting to connect all of the all of the dots, and it feels like you're realizing that maybe you were casting a net that was a little bit too wide, and that you were coming up with things that you just didn't need. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. You know why I love the Knight of Pentacles? It's because that the Knight of Pentacles is asking you to focus on the journey. Because when we begin the journey, we have an end point in mind. And sometimes the journey takes so long. Sometimes there's so many things, karmic things, justice, that we have to learn on the journey, that by the time we get to whatever we think was going to be the outcome, we're not really wanting that outcome anymore. Our idea of what a really good outcome is, of what alignment is, and all of that has changed. And that's why the Knight of Pentacles takes so long, because it's about going over the details. What do I really want? Because every time you finish a leg of the journey, you're sort of reevaluating, and this is a time of emotional reflection and reevaluation. We're in the middle of the year. You're now reevaluating what you've accomplished up to here and what you want to accomplish for the rest of the year. So I think that the Knight of Pentacles showing up is very timely. It feels like you are going through a really big healing situation in your life. I feel like you feel for people that are going to feel disappointed about you not showing up because you're spending more time with you in healing. But it's the way it's got to be, my friend. We are going to go to the extended, and we're going to talk about more of this, because what does your freedom look like? We've got you reclaiming your power. We'll talk more about that. And what is this thing you're working on? Because I think you've been working on it for a while, but keeping it under the surface. The turtle's in the water, right? So it feels like slow and steady wins the race, and you know that, and you're about to probably have some people drop off. But I think justice is yours, my friend, in the people that you choose to keep in your circle. Those are the ones who are really your hardcore ride or dies. And nobody loves loyalty more than a fixed sign. That's you. That's me. We know all about the fixed sign stuff. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, because I am always back. I'm going to go into the extended. But if you would like to come with us to the extended, please look at the pinned comment that is above all the comments. You will find the link for the membership area, which is where all the extendeds go, if you're interested in that. And if you're interested in a private read, I do have 3-month reads. I do have 6-month reads. I have 1-question reads, 3-question reads. If any of this is something you want to know about for your own energy, please click on the Hypsee link, and please know that I do have live readings and pre-recorded readings. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, as I said, because I am always back. Can't leave you out here in the wild for too long, Scorpio. You're causing trouble. I'm going to go for now. Take care. See you in the extended. Bye.